When Anna first mentioned the idea of a pretend breakup, I thought she was joking. We had been together for nearly 3 years, and as far as I knew, we were in a stable, loving relationship. Things were calm, familiar, and felt right, at least to me. But she wasn't laughing when she brought it up. Her expression was unreadable, too composed. She sat across from me on the couch and said, "What if we took a week apart, just to see what it's like to be without each other? Not an actual breakup, just a trial." I let out a shaky laugh, waiting for her to crack a smile. She didn't. Her eyes stayed locked on mine, serious. "Is there something wrong?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "No," she said gently. "Not really. I just think it would be good to get some space. Sometimes you only understand what someone means to you when they're not around." I should have seen that for what it was, an exit disguised as a test. But I didn't want to seem paranoid. I didn't want to be the clingy boyfriend who couldn't handle a little distance. So I agreed. Against every instinct in my body, I told her it was okay. She laid out her rules like it was some structured game. No texting, no calls, no checking social media, no interactions of any kind. For 1 week, we'd live as if the other person didn't exist. She smiled when she explained it, like it was some fun little challenge. I tried to match her tone, but something about it felt wrong. The first day was quiet, too quiet. My phone stayed still on my desk, not even a single notification from her. I kept looking at it anyway. I busied myself with work, errands, anything to fill the silence. But by the end of the day, I was scrolling through old photos of us. Her smile, her laugh, our weekend getaways, wondering what she was doing, whether she missed me at all. By the 3rd day, I gave in. I opened her social media. That's when I saw it. A picture of her at a packed bar, grinning wide, with a guy I didn't recognize standing much too close. His arm was draped over her shoulders, like it belonged there. I tried not to jump to conclusions. Maybe it was a friend. Maybe it was just a photo. But my gut told me otherwise. Then the 4th day came. I was in the middle of answering emails when I got a text from someone we both knew. "Hey, is everything okay with you and Anna? Just saw her on Bumble." I felt sick. Denial was my first instinct. No way, not her. But I had to know. I downloaded the app. My hands were shaking as I searched. And there she was. New pictures. A bio that said open to new connections. Not a trace of hesitation. That night I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, wondering how I could have misread everything so badly. This wasn't about space. It was a loophole, a way to explore without guilt. On day 5, I got another message, this time from Rachel, an old friend I hadn't talked to in a long time. She and I had gone on a few dates years ago, well before Anna. She texted, "I saw Anna last night at a diner. She was with a guy. They didn't look like just friends." I thanked her, trying to keep my tone light. But inside, I was barely holding it together. By the 6th day, something inside me broke. But in the best way. I stopped looking, stopped checking, stopped wondering. The pain was still there, but something stronger had taken its place. Clarity. I realized that I had been compromising so much, giving in to her terms again and again, just to keep her happy. And this week-long test? It wasn't for both of us. It was for her. It had always been about what she wanted. The 7th day arrived. We had agreed to meet at a coffee shop. Part of me wanted to ghost her, let her feel the silence she'd forced on me. But I needed closure. I needed to look her in the eye and say the words I had rehearsed 100 times in my head. She showed up looking completely at ease, like she'd just come back from a week at a spa. She smiled and sat down, cheerful. "So, how was it for you?" I studied her face. I was looking for guilt, regret, anything. "It felt like you used this as an excuse to line up your next chapter," I said, keeping my voice even. Her smile faltered. She shifted in her seat. "I just needed to gain some perspective," she mumbled, avoiding my eyes. I waited for her to deny it, to explain away the dating profile, to tell me the guy at the diner was just a cousin or a friend. But nothing came, just vague words, empty phrases. She didn't even try to lie convincingly. "I'm done," I said. She stared at me, stunned. "Wait, what? You're serious?" I stood up. "Yeah, I am." And I left. She wanted to know what life without me felt like. Now she could have it, no rules, no time limit. The first few weeks were rough. I won't pretend they weren't. There were nights when I almost texted her. When I missed her so badly it hurt to breathe. But I stayed strong. I focused on myself. I got back in touch with friends, started picking up old hobbies I'd let go of, spent time on things that made me feel alive again. Eventually, I met someone new, someone honest, someone who didn't treat relationships like experiments or games. She was kind, consistent, and refreshingly real. Couple months later, Anna texted me. Just 3 words. "I miss you." I left the message on read. If someone needs to simulate losing you to recognize your worth, they were never truly holding on in the first place.